Ghana's entire digital world is about to get a major overhaul. And I mean major. There's this one new bill that's set to rewrite the rule book for pretty much everyone, from the big tech companies all the way down to the freelance coder working from home, and yeah, even the government itself. So let's dive in and figure out what this new tech playbook really means for Ghana's future. So who actually sets the rules for tech in Ghana? I mean, it seems like a simple question, doesn't it? But honestly, for years, the answer has been, well, kind of messy. You had different agencies handling different parts of the digital puzzle, which, as you can imagine, led to a pretty scattered approach. Well, that's all about to change, and this new bill is the reason why. So that old, fragmented system, it's basically on its way out the door. The big plan here is to create one single authority to oversee everything digital in the entire country. And yeah, this is a huge shift. We're talking about centralizing all that regulatory power under one roof, all to bring some much-needed structure and coordination to a tech scene that's just exploding right now. Okay, so here's how we're going to break this all down. First up, we'll look at the big picture, what I'm calling Ghana's digital shakeup. Then we'll get properly introduced to this new tech authority. After that, we're going to get into the nitty-gritty, the new rules and what they actually mean for you. We'll also see how they're planning to keep the system fair. And finally, we'll pull it all together and talk about why this whole thing matters so much. All right, let's jump right in with the thing that's kicking off this whole conversation, the National Information Technology Authority Bill 2025. And look, you got to understand, this isn't just some small policy tweak. No way. This is a fundamental rebuild of how technology is governed in Ghana, right, from the ground up. Right at the heart of this bill is the creation of a new NITA. That's the National Information Technology Authority. And its official mission? It's incredibly broad. We're talking about regulating, coordinating, promoting, and developing the entire digital sector. You can almost think of it as the new central command for, well, for all things tech in Ghana. So, who is this new authority, really? And what are they actually going to be doing day to day? Let's dig into the specifics of their mission. Okay, NITA's to-do list is, well, it's huge. We're not just talking about writing a few rules. This is about setting quality standards for the software you're using every day, coordinating how IT professionals get trained and developed, making sure government tech projects are actually efficient and secure, and even actively promoting local research and innovation. It's basically stepping in as the brand new referee for Ghana's entire digital playing field, making sure everybody is playing by the same rules. Okay. So what does all this mean in practice, right? This is where the bill stops being just theory and becomes very, very real for thousands of businesses and professionals. So let's look at how these new rules are going to directly hit the day-to-day work of Ghana's tech industry. You can really boil NITA's direct impact down to three main things. Pillar 1, if you run a tech business, you're going to need a license. Pillar 2, if you're an ICT professional, you're going to need to get certified. And Pillar 3, if you're a government agency planning a big tech project, you've got to get NITA's technical stamp of approval first. Yeah, the message here could not be clearer. There is zero ambiguity. The bill lays it out plain and simple. You can't run an ICT business, doesn't matter if you're installing cables or building a software platform, without getting a license from NITA. And you can't get hired as an ICT professional without their certification. This is the new standard, and it applies to everyone. And here's the real kicker. There's a deadline. For anyone who already has an ICT license or a permit, a 6-month countdown starts the second this bill becomes law. After those 6 months, your old permits are no good. This means the entire industry has to get on board with the new NITA system, and they've got to do it fast. Now look, whenever you give a single organization this much power, it brings up a huge question. How do you keep the system fair? How do you stop them from overreaching? Well, the bill gives NITA some serious enforcement teeth for sure, but it also builds in a very clear way for people to appeal decisions. And just to give you a sense of how much power we're talking about, just listen to this quote, pulled straight from Section 48 of the bill. It says, NITA can close down the operations of any premises or a facility. So yeah, if they decide an operation is a risk or isn't following the rules, they can shut it down. This isn't just a slap on the wrist. These are real powers with very real consequences. So the crucial thing to understand here is the balance. On the one hand, NITA has a full toolbox. They can issue warnings, they can seize equipment, suspend licenses, and even hit you with financial penalties. But, and this is a big but, it's not a one-way street.
The bill was designed with a formal process for anyone who feels like a decision made against them was unfair.
And here's exactly what that appeals process looks like. Your first stop is an internal dispute resolution committee, right there at NITA. If that doesn't sort things out, you can take it up a level to a brand new independent national IT tribunal. And for a final check, decisions from that tribunal can be appealed to the Court of Appeal, but only on points of law. So you see, it's a structured, multi-level system that's designed to provide those all-important checks and balances. Okay, so we've gone through the what and the how, but now let's zoom out one last time and get to the most important question of all. Beyond all the legal language, why does this new rulebook really matter for Ghana? Well, the impact is meant to touch every single corner of the digital world. For everyday citizens like you and me, the goal is better, more secure digital services. For businesses, it's about having clearer, more consistent rules, creating a level playing field. For IT pros, it means official recognition and real career standards. For the government, it should lead to smarter, more coordinated tech spending. And here's something I find really interesting. They've included a regulatory sandbox. It's basically a safe space for local innovators and startups to test out new ideas without breaking the rules. You know, when you strip away all the legal jargon and the different clauses, this is the ultimate goal right here. The bill is really a blueprint for a digital future that's more organized, way safer for every single user, and hopefully a place where homegrown Ghanaian innovation can really truly thrive. Ultimately, this new rulebook is a massive bet. A bet on structure and regulation as the key drivers for progress. The plan is ambitious, the powers are significant, and you know what? The stakes for Ghana's digital economy could not be higher. And that leaves all of us with the big question. Is this the key that will finally unlock Ghana's massive digital potential?